Get ready to be inspired by the great things happening in rural education. The Rural Scoop will bring you new ideas and innovative solutions. We'll dive into education issues and we'll highlight what's working in your rural communities. You'll hear from a variety of educators, administrators, professionals, and others who will provide relevant and engaging content in each episode. And now, for a special episode recorded at the Arizona Rural Schools Association Conference, here's your host, Ty White.
All right. So first question to help break the ice, show you there's no trick questions in this room. Would you start by introducing yourselves?
Yeah, my name's Jenna Arico from Kairos Health Arizona, and I'm an account manager. I've been working with Kairos for about almost 8 years now.
And I'm Elizabeth Glaesman. I'm also with Kairos Health Arizona. I do business development for the team, and I've been with them for almost 2 years.
Okay. I guess I'm going to start by asking you, my first vendors in the room, what is it that you have that you can offer to help our rural schools and our rural communities?
What I'll start with is, so Kairos has a large population of rural districts throughout the state. And Kairos is an employee benefits pool. We provide wellness programs, a medical network, a ton of consulting,
Ancillary benefits, open enrollment help, everything you can think of under our umbrella. And we do have a lot of these rural groups within Kairos, a ton of them actually.
And so we have a really heavy focus making sure that those rural communities can get the same kind of access to providers and healthcare and benefits that these, metro areas also have.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. One thing about our program is it doesn't matter if you're teeny tiny. I mean, we have one group that is literally one person enrolled, and we have other school districts that are thousands, right? So everybody's going to have the same type of benefit package and the same type of offerings, regardless of your size. So that's something that's really important to us with our benefit package.
I was supposed to ask this question before that, but we fixed it in editing.
Okay.
How many times have you been to the ARSA conference?
I have been to the ARSA conference every year since 2019. So this is my fifth ARSA. Yeah.
This is my first one.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Super happy to be here.
What are you guys most eager about this year? What are you looking forward to at the conference?
I would say I'm excited about the new location, the new everything, the conference center. I mean, we've been here for a little bit now, but a couple of days, sorry, messed it up, but we've been at the conference for a couple of days now, but it's really exciting to see all the newness happening and the new setup and the new just golf tournament, the new way of everything. So that's what I was most looking forward to this year, is to see how resilient the rural districts can be.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm just excited to meet new people. I've been to some of the other school district conferences that are a little bit larger, right? But this is my first time at a rural district conference. So just meeting new people and seeing new faces. Yeah,
again, that's another common one people love, is the chance to network and meet people from all over. Can you tell me about your rural experiences?
Our rural experience? Okay.
So like when I share this, I get to talk about growing up or my years of teaching rural. Yours, like I'm actually asking for yours if you got some to share.
So sure. I came from a construction company before I worked in healthcare, also working with K-12 districts in the state of Arizona, though. With construction, though, they tended to focus on the metropolitan areas and not really go out to these rural districts as much for whatever reason. It's been really interesting as I've gotten ingrained in health benefits and employee benefits. Health benefits affect every single school district throughout the state, regardless of where they are. Construction doesn't necessarily. So it's been extremely eye-opening to see all the different districts, the way the different people do different things, the hats that different administrators wear in one district versus the other, the sheer logistics of getting from one place to another. So some of these rural districts that we work with for health benefits, they don't have the same access to things that the metro areas do. And yeah, it's just been we on our side, we have to get really creative to try to minimize that gap between the metro and the rural areas. It's a little repetitive, but
You're fine. And the thing is, like editing can take us like
so
within.
you're gonna
If this is yeah. And so actually, like to your other thing, making a mistake is not a big deal.
okay, cool.
In fact, just stopping and saying, "Okay, I'd like to retake that."
Okay, got
So
it.
I should have started with that. I did.
Okay.
What does the rural advantage mean to you?
So I'll take this one. A sense of community is something that I've realized when I go out to some of these rural districts. These teachers and staff, they are so close. They're very close-knit, tight bunch. They are not only coworkers, but they hang out outside of work. They see each other at the grocery store. There's just a huge sense of community that I really admire in rural areas because you don't see that in, the larger Phoenix area. So it's definitely unique. And I think there's tons of benefits to that.
One of the things that I really like about this ARSA conference is that they take a moment to celebrate 10 outstanding teachers from across the state. And ultimately one selected to be the teacher of the year that represents rural Arizona. But I guess I'd like to take a moment and ask you if you got a teacher you'd like to recognize or shout out.
Oh my gosh.
I have one, but it's silly.
There is no silver in this for you.
Okay. Just please edit it out if you don't mind. Okay. So I would say in third grade, I had this teacher who would essentially make a to-do list on the board and we would get free time. And there might be 3 things on that to-do list, 5 things, 6 things, 8 things, but you got this period of time. Everyone got the same amount of time, the same list of things to get done. And you had to get those things accomplished in that amount of time. Anything you didn't accomplish, you had to take home as homework, right? And I guess just Miss Komar, she was awesome. And I learned so much from that. And that's still how I do my work today as an adult is that to-do list. I've got this much time, it really stuck with me for whatever reason.
I want you to know as a teacher, there's nothing silly about that answer.
It was just a different way of teaching,
Sure.
right? Like everybody normally says, everybody get out your books and we're going to follow along. And it was like, she gave us this freedom and this allowance to just do what we wanted to do in whatever order we wanted. And I thought that was so cool.
For me, I would say when I was I want to say it was like 6th grade, and I can't remember exactly what we were learning about, but it was for English class. And a couple of a couple of the students that I was in class with, we were just having a hard time grasping the concept, whatever it is. So our teacher volunteered, right, to stay with us after school, okayed it with parents and everything, and just really spent that extra time with us to make sure that we understood the content before we would move on to something. So just putting her own personal life kind of aside to help her students. I mean, I think that's one of the best qualities that teachers have, and that they are truly educators because they care about their students. So
nice. So you were talking about networking earlier. So I really want to frame this question in that is, let's say a school leader that ought to be here, someone that you guys work with that they're on the fence, they're just not sure about committing their time or their resources. What would you tell them about this conference that might change their mind?
I was a little surprised to not see some of the school districts that we have that I guess I would consider them rural, but I don't know what the definition of is that, right? Or like what school districts are invited to this or not. But to be honest with you, I'm a little surprised that some of them aren't here. And I think, networking, resources, bouncing ideas, roundtables, all of that, I feel like in the education community is so helpful for you guys. I'm seeing what other school districts are putting in place from a business perspective, education perspective, all of that. There's so much value in that.
And to be clear, was the question, what would we say to them to recommend that they come? Or okay,
did I change their mind? Right?
Okay, all right. I would add on to what you said and say that this is the one time of year that there is a conference just for rural schools. You guys are all going through it differently, but you're all rural, right? So you're going to have similar problems that look different. And so why not take advantage of this time? There's ASBO and there's ASA and there's these ASPA, there's different organizations, right? But that is for anyone. This is for rural schools. So take advantage of that time to come out here and meet people in the same shoes as you, meet the vendors that maybe you wouldn't normally meet, it's a smaller setting than an ASBO, so it's less overwhelming. yeah, less intimidating for sure. So yeah, come out. I mean, we're all here and we want to meet you. So
And there's lots of great vendors here and lots of great swag.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Those are my questions.
That's it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
It was fun.
Doing okay?
Oh, you did fantastic.
Sweating.
Oh, what goodness. Those first funny.
Thank you so much for listening to The Rural Scoop. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe, or even leave us a comment. And be sure to follow on Twitter at Dr. Sadorf. That's Dr_SADORF, so that you never miss a new release. You can also check out previous episodes of The Scoop wherever you get your podcasts. Production support for The Rural Scoop is provided by Chattanooga Podcast Studios. Find out more at ChattanoogaPodcastStudios.com. See you next time for more great discussions about rural education.